With its famously sunny climate and laid-back culture, is it any wonder that moving to Australia is a popular choice among expats? The expat population down under is growing across all states and age groups, from young globetrotters to mature retirees. Airfares are getting cheaper, and the growth in communication technologies, such as Skype, mean moving across the world to Australia is no longer such a daunting prospect. It's now possible to have that new life in the sun and stay in close contact with family back home. Love the idea of living the Aussie dream but no idea where to live in Australia? No worries, we've put together a list of 7 great destinations for expats, based on factors such as the cost of living, the availability of schools and universities, employment opportunities and things to do. Check out which places made our list below. Number 5. Canberra. Australia's inland capital, Canberra, has a sophisticated atmosphere that really comes alive when the country's parliament assembles. Although it is the nation's capital, Canberra has fewer than 400,000 residents, giving it an almost small-town charm with its pretty tree-lined streets. Real estate is, perhaps surprisingly, some of the most affordable in the country, with average house prices almost 100,000 Australian dollars, 70,500 US dollars, below the national average at around 480,000 Australian dollars, 340,000 US dollars. In summer, Canberra's residents take to the shores of Lake Burley-Griffin to enjoy picnics, bike rides, fishing and sailing. The city has a great restaurant and bar scene, some interesting cultural attractions, such as the National Gallery of Australia, and no end of adventure activities in the hills and bushland that surround the city. Number 4. Hobart. Historic Hobart is the second oldest city in Australia, situated in the south of the country on the banks of the Derwent River. The city is popular with those who prefer cooler temperatures, with summer temperatures a manageable 68 degrees Fahrenheit, and has a lovely relaxed pace of life. Hobart has a great range of real estate, from the luxurious to the affordable, and its desirable riverside suburbs are popular with families and retirees alike. The suburb of Kingston was recently named the most family-friendly place to live in Australia. Hobart may not have a rapidly growing employment market, but it does offer stable and steady job prospects, especially for skilled expats in the industries of construction, viticulture, and engineering. On the weekends, choose between the lively arts scene in town, scaling the heights of the spectacular Mt. Wellington, or heading down to Sandy Bay to relax on the beach. Number 3. Melbourne. The multicultural city of Melbourne is widely considered to be Australia's cultural capital, with a strong arty vibe, amazing museums, and an endless selection of cool bars, eateries and festivals. It's also a city of sporting fans. The residents of Melbourne come from all over the world, creating many different neighborhoods from the glitzy to the family-oriented. Surrey Hills and Camberwell are popular with expats who have children, while the hipster beachfront suburb of St Kilda attracts a younger crowd. On the downside, Melbourne is famous for its changeable weather. You'll often experience 4 seasons in one day. Cost of living is relatively high, although slightly cheaper than Sydney, and the employment market is buoyant, especially for expats who specialize in aviation, construction, automotive engineering, financial services and technology. Number 2. Perth. Perth is an easygoing but cosmopolitan city on Australia's west coast. With gorgeous city parks, a booming economy and warm weather all year round, life in Perth is sweet. The job outlook is particularly good in the mining industries, tourism, healthcare, and technology. Families are drawn to the good schools and neighborhoods like Victoria Park and Applecross, while others may prefer the cultural attractions and restaurants of Bohemian Fremantle along Perth's south coast. Making time to play is paramount in Perth. Whether you head down to the golden sands of the city's pristine beaches, take to the waters of the glassy Swan River, or enjoy a night of opera at the Perth Cultural Centre, you'll always find Perth's laid-back residents are out and about enjoying Aussie life. Number 1. Sydney. With almost 5 million residents, Sydney is by far Australia's biggest city and home to some of its most iconic sights. Cruise through the harbour to see the famous Opera House, or join the surfer dudes down at the beautiful Bondi Beach. While the bright lights of Sydney's Central District, with its eclectic bars, restaurants and clubs, appeal to younger expats, many families choose to live in the suburbs. Western Sydney is particularly popular with American expats, while the Northern Beaches area is great for families. Sydney is a major player on the world stage, which has an undeniable effect on the cost of living here. Real estate prices are on a par with New York, putting it up there with the most expensive cities in the world. Sydney's successful economy does mean that employment prospects are good, with the financial services, communications technology, and creative industries all thriving.